What do I say? I mean, the heading says the heading of this video pretty much says it all. Resistance is futile. It truly is. When you consider what's going on, we've been asleep too long. They have caught us in the squat, as they say, haven't they? They caught us with our pants down, quite frankly. And now we're being royally screwed up the backside by these establishment figures. Let's just take a quick look. I'll just adjust a few things. There we are. Right. We'll start at the very beginning. It's rather strange. Even at the very beginning, when we're brought into the world, let's take the typical baby birth. Okay, a standard birth from a lady, you would hope. Out comes the little brat. Regardless of whether it's a cesarean section, but let's just assume it's a standard birth. Come on, Mrs. Thomas, keep pushing, and out pops the baby, and they're on it like a rash. No sooner has the baby even drawn its first breath, even before, they clamp that cord and snip it away and take the baby away, and I'll get my gloves up on, we'll sort this mess out. This is what it's like. Let us just explain this very quickly. If the baby doesn't draw breath when it is delivered, there's no panic, Mrs. Worthington. None. Because it's getting oxygen pulsed down that cord from the placenta. Okay? The baby is still getting its oxygen and blood supply, of course, from the cord until the bastards clamp it. The heart is beating, the cord is pumping and supplying the blood, and the mother is supplying the blood to the placenta, and everything's hunky-dory. But no sooner is the baby's out, chomp, 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 and they're at it with vitamin K. Something to improve clotting. That means make the heart work harder, by the way, vitamin K. Immediately, within a minute or 5, the baby's injected with vitamin K, whether it wants it or not, whether the mother decides she wants it or not, to give it to the baby. So within 5 minutes, that baby's had a needle stuck in it. But here's the bummer. Okay, quite a percentage of the baby's total blood volume is wasted by clamping the cord close to the baby. Clamp, clamp, couple of clamps, off, that's it. And then basically the baby's whisked away. The volume of blood left in that really almost 1.5 feet to 2 foot cord is full of blood and nutrients and vital nutrients and antibodies from the mother. And the commonsensical thing would be for the midwife or the gynecologist to put their fingers up either side of the cord and draw down the blood and then clamp, because they've wasted a cord full of that blood. And, the moment they cut it, I hope the baby's breathing. Otherwise, there's lots of panic going on getting the baby breathing. So they're on you, okay? So you're born, and within a couple of minutes, you're assaulted with not only do they deprive you of essential nutrients from your mother upon birth, they've assaulted you with vitamin K. So you're now your brand new baby. Why would they want to stick vitamin K in you straight away like that? That's number one. Number two is then the kid, it is proven, very, very much proven, that when a baby is born and they let the placenta be delivered and the baby has its own circulation starting to pump around and starts to breathe, it is now independent of the umbilical cord, and then they should cut it. Babies who have been delivered in that way, in the second way I've just explained, okay, they have proven to be far more intelligent children than those who are clamped straight away and got out the way. There's something in it, folks. And they know it. The science is in. They've known it for a long time. The other thing is, when I say that we've been caught in the squat, we're born in the squat, okay? But then you go off to your parents, and hopefully your parents, and then you go to this place called school. Before you even get there, in some countries, they fill you up with inoculations of God knows what. You know what's in them, and so do I. And then, of course, you're in school where they will look into my eyes and brainwash us. And we get taught what the others want to teach us. And it just gets worse from there, doesn't it? So from 5 to 16, you're stuck at school. Look into my eyes, do the homework. They won't even let you off at 4 o'clock when you're supposed to finish school because you get homework, for Christ's sake. I think enough is enough, this homework nonsense. When are the children allowed time for themselves? And when is the family allowed time to take a break away from this academic brainwashing that's going on? So the kids now, they use every spare 5 minutes in escapism world. They're on the internet, they're swamped with Wi-Fi, soon to be 5G. They've had the inoculations. It is estimated in America alone that 25% of children who become adults, naturally, hopefully, have some form of autism. 1 in 4 people in America now have autism at some level. That's a phenomenal amount of autistic people of various abilities. Think about that. This is this compulsory inoculation program. Who the hell do these people think they are? You won't get into school, and if you don't get your children inoculated, you're a bad parent and we'll take the children away from you. Who do they think they are? You see, we've allowed this. There should have been a bloody revolution against this sort of shit. Not only that, when your children go to school in America, now they're inviting in for school children as young as 7 and 8, sitting there. They're going to invite guest speakers from LGW, gay transsexuals, LGBT, to come and give a talk about normalising their bloody deviant behaviour. Is it normal to be a lesbian? No. What about transsexual? Absolutely not. Homosexual? No. Why are they trying to normalise homosexuality? It isn't normal. I'm sorry about the people who suffer from the ailment, but you do not choose to be a homosexual. Okay, but they're trying to tell the kids at school, hey, it's all okay, it's normal. In fact, you might be normal yourself. You want to try being a lesbian. No thanks, I've got a boyfriend, says this young girl. Yeah, but you've never experienced making love with a woman, have you? Well, no, I'm a girl myself, and I don't intend to experience getting in bed with a girl anytime soon. And as for becoming a transsexual, no thank you. No, but this is what the schools are trying to do, is to normalise LGBT, whatever they are. Well, again, another sick thing that's been thrust upon the American people, haven't they? They cut the cord too soon. Okay? They teach absolute shit at school. It's a joke. They get rid of God in the churches. Not that I'm into religion, but hey ho. Children have to have a base understanding of religion and values. Okay? They don't swear allegiance like they used to the country, because who gives a shit, apparently? And this is all an attack on America, of course. And it's coming our way in Britain, absolutely 1,000 miles an hour. We needn't get cocky. But looking at America now, it's ever likely. The universities are political organizations that are funded by Saudi Arabia, and people like the Rothschilds and the Soroses and the Rockefellers. And it was actually the Rockefeller Foundation that stopped the swearing the allegiance to the American flag in America, believe it or not. But this is what's happening in America now. And then to top it all, they're getting chemtrailed to death with God knows what. There are black areas in America, high black footfall in certain parts of America, Alabama, yeah, where they are specifically targeted for the most obscene amount of chemtrails of the God knows what's falling upon those people, and the black people are falling like bloody flies. They have, I mean, oh, the great country, the greatest country in the world. Yeah, you serious USA that you used to be the greatest country in the world, but you're going down, my old son. And here's the deal. Behind the scenes in America, you might not know this, there's covert dealings going on with Russia. There truly is. Russia have the biggest HAARP, high altitude aurora project, weather modification, hurricane generating, drought generating, flood generating system. They've got the biggest HAARP machine in Russia. And guess what? They've got them in America and they've got them in Britain. But here's the deal. Okay, don't you ever think in America that at a certain level, Russia and America are working together to change the demographics and the footfall in America to corral the American people into certain key areas, away out of the fields and into holding camps. In the nicest sense, they're moving the people. They are creating these hurricanes and whirlwinds and hellish weathers. And it is a collusion between Russia and America. And here's the deal. Do you know why? Because ultimately, who's behind all this? It is the Jesuits. There we are. I've said it. It is the Jesuits. If you don't think the Jesuits run this world, you can talk about Israel all you like and the Zionists all you like about running the world. No. It is the Jesuits that own and operate this world. And don't you forget it. And the Jesuits, they want communism. It is their ultimate goal. It was the Jesuits who created Roman Empire, and they created it and destroyed it. And everything they create, they get to a certain level, rape the goodies, and then destroy it. America, they get to a certain level, rape it of goodies, and they're going to destroy it. And that's what they're doing now. And these are like locusts. It isn't the Zionists, bankers, it's the Jesuits. It is Rome. It is all geared from the Vatican, folks, and it is all answerable to the Jesuits. And people quite haven't really swallowed this one throughout the world. Now, the Jesuits operating from Russia, Iran, Iraq, they have a man in every a man loosely termed. The Jesuits have representation in every country in this world that answers to the Vatican, the nucleus of the New World Order, by the way. And the grand plan is that they want a one world religion. Well, you can guess. They want a one world army, a centralized dictatorship The Vatican. Yes. And a microchip population, a dumbed down population, but here's the deal. There is too many people in the world. And if you want to know who funded the Georgia Guidestones, look no further than the Vatican. Nobody knows who funded the Georgia Guidestones. It was that film star and that pop star and that ego. No, it's far bigger than that, folks. The agenda written on the Georgia Guidestones was written by the Jesuits. Because what they realise is if these bastards, these international terrorists, and that's what they are, an international army, the Jesuits, they are not a religion. The head of the Jesuits is called the General. It's a bit of a giveaway. They realise once they've got and knackered a country and got it to its knees, well, there's just too many people who are angry. How can they control all these people? Well, it's very simple. You downsize the number of people and you use weather modification to destroy and control the food, and then you control the water, and then you kill off the population. And you create diseases. And it all makes sense, folks, and you think it is, but there's, even though they run the world, how can they control the world's population? They can't. So their solution, folks, is once they've wrecked America and the big countries, everything else is going to be easy. The collapse of European Union. It's a done deal that Britain is going to Brexit. It was allowed to happen. It will be allowed to happen. Because they want to break Europe up. Because it was perceived as a threat. The European superpower was never going to be. It was a nice pipe dream for some of the Europeans and a cash cow for them, but the Jesuits weren't having any of it. But if you don't think China, Russia, and America have influenced and are being guided in their ways by the Jesuits, you are so wrong. They always operate from the shadows. They've been cast out of lots and lots of countries in their time for doing just that in those countries, and they got caught doing it. And now they've gone deep, deep, deep covert, and they wouldn't do it again. They wouldn't do this. They're not that powerful. Listen, Trump educated in a Jesuit school. Okay? All the major world leaders, all the multi-millionaire world national players, the bankers included, went to Jesuit-controlled schools. Those that matter went to Jesuit-controlled schools. And you can name all the senators you like. Kerry, Jesuit-controlled. The Clintons have an influence. The Jesuits influence the Clinton family. The Bushes, oh for sure, Jesuit controlled. They are all controlled and answer to the Jesuits. And don't think for 1 minute they don't. What they are doing, the Jesuits know the agenda. They're being dead honest with us. What says on the Guidestones will happen. And you can take that to the bank. Okay, you can forget the Rothschilds and all this nonsense. The Jesuits are so much richer. They make the Rothschilds look like paupers. No. The grand plan of the Jesuits is to have total world domination under centralized dictatorship via this magic word, communism. It is the only game in town for the Jesuits. But you can't have communism. You have to break things up and smash them and make them manageable. And it's like having a big pizza. You have to cut it up in slices. And how do you do that? One slice at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One slice at a time. One country at a time. One superpower like America. And what are they doing now? They're destroying the most powerful country in the world next to Russia. And Russia are in collusion with the people who are controlling America, which is Jesuits, and the people who are controlling Russia are the oligarchical Jesuits, oligarchs, okay? And Russia and America are in cahoots to destroy America. And they share technologies like HAARP. And you want to know, you ain't seen nothing yet in America. Nothing. It's universities are full of morons. The stuff they teach are morons. The food is turned to shit. It's all Monsanto, genetically modified, trans fats and sugar base and fructose corn syrups. The people are walking, ticking time bombs. Overweight population per, every town, every city in America. They start at California and under the underbelly of America, this area. Look what's happened to California. Yeah, there's some serious money in California, folks. They are destroying it major city by major city. San Francisco. What a shame. Oh, you could be sure to wear flour in your hair. Yeah, oh sure. America is finished. The people in America just don't realize it yet. Because the agenda is to bring America to its knees, keep them preoccupied in a state of war, a state of fear, a state of no hope. Well, it's working. But the one thing America is really, really, really good at is producing children. Yes, sir. No, sir. 3 + 4, sir. And they have conscription. Okay? And they're just going to be the cash cow for the fighting machines that are going to be used by the Jesuits to achieve their agenda. Every time a child is born in America is an asset towards the draft. That's what's coming. You just carry on having children. This is why the immigration and the borders are being opened up, because they want those children coming into America, whether they be Mexican or Spanish or whatever nationality. There's no Trump wall going up, folks. In fact, you'll find the bastardization of America will happen in the next 5 years so quick, and the breeding, and they breed like flies, these people, because the Jesuits want them to breed like flies, because the prodigy of such relationships with these people, their children will become conscripted to fight the wars for the Jesuits, which are warmongering personified. And they're going to be needed to take on the Middle East. They will have Saudi Arabia, they will have Iraq and Iran and Dubai. Oh yes. Don't think for 1 minute that the communists will stop with the death of America. North Korea is going to be a breeze. Japan's a joke. Europe is finished. NATO, that's a joke. This is all manufactured and coordinated by the richest people in town that you will never know. And they are working in cahoots with the Jesuits, who have money beyond your dreams. And this is what the deep underground military bases are for, folks. Okay? And you ain't invited. So we are screwed. There's no point, you see. You can get yourself in a state of depression watching conspiracies. There are conspiracy theorists. There are conspiracies. There's thousands upon thousands of them. But the overall agenda is a world under central dictatorship and communism. Okay, so resistance is futile. We have been caught in the squat. We've been caught with our pants down, and we're going to be shagged up our ass royally unless we wake up and stop this nonsense and throw these Jesuits out of town. But there's no, oh, we wouldn't do that. The Jesuits, no, it's not religious, folks. It's an army so big and so convert. The worst enemy you'll ever face is the one you don't know. It's like being at school. Somebody's going to get you. Oh, who is it? Who is it? I don't know, but I heard rumours there's someone out there who's going to really hurt you. He's going to beat the shit out of you when he gets his hands on you. Who is it? What's he look like? I want to avoid him. You don't know. The enemy you don't know, folks, is the Jesuits. It is the Vatican. Okay? It's not the Catholic Church. Don't kid yourself. But it's all run from the Vatican. The Vatican isn't a bloody church. They don't have services in the Vatican. It's a Politburo for the Jesuits. We've even got a Jesuit Pope, the black ex-general Jesuit Pope. Now can you see? Are your eyes open yet? And you want to know what's happening with all this horrible weather and the constant chemtrailing and the enforced inoculations and the dumbing down of America, because at least they're giving you a bit of an anaesthetic before they slaughter you. And we needn't get cocky in Europe, because what happens in America happens in UK. It doesn't matter, you see, whether the Labour, Conservative, Lib Dems or SDP, whatever gets in, whatever party gets in, it doesn't matter. Because the agenda doesn't change. The puppet master remains the same, and the puppet master is the Jesuits. They are the richest organisation on the planet, the flat one. When will people realise this? Well, I wish sometimes you wish you don't know, don't you? Because ignorance truly is bliss. And I get myself into a state of depression, because I take the trouble to learn these things and put some time and effort into learning these. I wouldn't do that, would they? God, they have actually. What a coincidence. Yes, why is it? Well, listen, in governments, folks, nothing, and I mean nothing, happens by accident. Nothing. But it is planned 50 and 100 years ahead. While you're busy watching the Super Bowl, some bastards are having a meeting about how they're going to destroy you and your family and your grandchildren. Trust me on this. And hey, Bob, come on in. He's going for the car. Have a beer, man. That's about the best thing you can do. Because there's dick shit you can do about it. Not in your little lifespan. Because this is a long-term agenda. By the time they've really pulled it off, you and me will be out of here. But what about your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids? Well, they're just going to have to suffer it because we've been delinquent. We allowed it to happen. We've been asleep watching the Super Bowl and football. I'm too busy being me to worry about my kids and my grandkids and my great-grandkids. And this is why we're destined to be screwed by these bastards. And they know it, because these people have been at it since Knights Templar days, and that's the Jesuits. They started the banking system of the world, the Knights Templars. They truly did. And when they moved out, guess what? The Rothschilds are Jesuit. Of course they are. Rothschilds started the first bloody banks. It was the Jesuits who started the first banking system. They had the notarized debt because they couldn't lug their gold around. They had a notice of credit. They invented the check. I wish people would realise it's all been designed. You were born into slavery, Neo. People are taking the red pill now and opening their eyes. Hey, go back to sleep. Everything's all right on the farm. Don't you worry. You carry on watching the Super Bowl and worrying about who's going to win. Stars in their eyes. X Factor, you name it. Busy, busy, busy on the farm with the other animals. While we've sold our future generations down the river by being asleep. It's unforgivable. And I am so grateful. Okay, by the time this all comes to a head, I will be out of here and so will you. But here's the bummer. I really don't want to come back. and I fear for my future. My future? I've got about 20 years left of me, tops. But I fear for my future when I come back. I don't want to be born back here. I wouldn't recommend it. Prison planet Earth. Ain't that the case? Under a centralized dictatorship, the New World Order will indeed achieve its results. They tend not to fail, these people, because the animals on the farm are as thick as dog shit. They truly are. And these are oh so clever people at university, you know. We know nothing. And as time realizes, the way we understand and judge how intelligent we are, folks, is admit to ourselves, even though we think are intelligent, intelligence is understanding exactly how much you don't know. Well, now you know.